Amidst concerns over the allocation of state lands to government officials, their family members and friends, 3 prominent activists in the Gambia have filed a petition for the National Assembly members to conduct an investigation into these allocations since 2017. After submitting their petition to the clerk of the National Assembly of the Gambia, the trio of Madi Jobate, Omar Saibo Kamara, and Babukar Nyang held a press conference to give detailed information about their petition. In their petition, they are requesting the lawmakers to investigate the government's allocation of state lands to officials at different locations in the country. These officials specifically include the President, the Vice President, Cabinet Ministers, National Assembly members, senior officials in ministries, departments, agencies, judicial officers, private companies and business persons, private citizens and individuals, and non-state institutions or organizations. While detailing the petition to the media, Mr. Babukar Nyang, one of the petitioners, gave the rationale behind their petition. Mr. Nyang stated that the petition is meant to reveal whether these allocations were done in accordance with the laws of the Gambia.
The purpose of this petition is to inquire into the allocation of state lands to public officials, individuals, and state and non-state institutions, organizations, and businesses to ensure that these allocations were done in line with the 1997 Constitution, the State Lands Act 1991, the Land Acquisition and Compensation Act 1991, and all other relevant laws and free from undue influence, bribery, exploitation, and official privilege, or any inappropriate means. The petition equally seeks to ensure that due process and rule of law were strictly followed and that allocations were legal and legitimate. The petition seeks to ensure accountability in the allocation of all state lands. This petition arises out of public concerns and allegations of inappropriate, unfairness, and inappropriate and illegal allocation of state land by the executive. The petitioners believe that the petition relates to the matter of public concern and interest, and it is within the National Assembly's supervisory powers to ensure accountability in all state institutions, particularly the functioning of the executive.
Mr. Nyang further revealed the 10 prayers sought in their petition for the National Assembly members to investigate.
The petition seeks the following prayers. A. For the identification of all beneficiaries of state allocations as per terms of this petition by indicating 1. The names of the respective beneficiaries, 2. The size of piece of land allocated to each beneficiaries, 3. The physical state of piece of land allocated, 4. The location of piece of land allocated, 5. The dates of both application and allocation of piece of land. 6. Determine whether the allocation met the due process without any element of undue influence, bribery, or any inappropriate official conduct. 7. Determine whether the beneficiaries meet the full eligibility requirements as set out in the State Lands 1991 and other relevant legislations. 8. Determine whether allocation of non-state individuals, organizations, and businesses followed due process and meet legal requirements in full without any undue influence or inappropriate official conduct. Determine cases of misapplication of the law or incidents of undue influence and bribery leading to the allocation of state lands to a beneficiary. And finally, determine whether the legal and ethical standards and justifications were met or not in allocation of state land to beneficiary.
Meanwhile, Mr. Madi Jobate, a human rights advocate and one of the petitioners, told the journalist that their petition seeks to pressure public officials to handle and manage public properties in accordance with the law.
The reason we are submitting this petition is to ensure that there is transparency and accountability in the management of public affairs and in the management of public resources by public institutions and officials. Land is one of the, probably not even one of the, but the most crucial national asset. And this land of the Gambia, which we all share, should benefit all Gambians. And so when we particularly deal with the issue of state lands, lands that are said to be under the control of the state, for which citizens can benefit, that process of making citizens enjoy this resource should be done in a manner that is transparent, that is accountable, that follows the rule of law, and that is ethical.
Mr. Jobata believes that the government does not have the interest of the citizens, considering the amount of money they are paying on rent for the Ministry of Interior and other government agencies. Madi also stated that the land allocated to the president is illegal, considering the laws in the country.
So we feel we need to do this as citizens for the peace and stability of the Gambia, for the good governance of the Gambia, and bearing in mind that while the state is giving lands to individuals, okay, we have seen state institutions renting. You have ministries renting. You have government departments renting in private properties. You have government agencies renting in private properties. And you wonder, why would we, state institutions, let's say a ministry like the Ministry of Interior, the ministry responsible for internal affairs, for home affairs, and in its own home, it is rented in a private place. That's a contradiction. So it means the government is not prioritizing public interest, because the money that would be used to rent these properties could have been used to build a massive office space somewhere where state agencies, departments, ministries could occupy without any cost to Gambians. And above all, we have to highlight the fact that we have seen the Minister for Lands, Mr. Hamad Ba, say they have allocated land that is allocated for the Chief Justice, property for the Chief Justice, to the President. And by law, the President doesn't qualify to get state land. But apart from that, land that is already allocated for a state official, that is the Chief Justice, cannot now be taken away from that allocation to be given to somebody else for private purposes. All right. So all of these are factors that raise the issue that indeed the issue of land must be addressed.
Since the change of government in 2017, there have been a lot of land allocations to government officials, including the President, National Assembly members, private companies, businessmen and women, private citizens and individuals. Dozens of Gambians have taken to social media to express their disapproval of these allocations and call on the government to put a stop to it. The trio of Madi Jobade, Babukar Nyang and Omar Saibo Kamara now want the National Assembly members to investigate how the government of the Gambia allocated these lands. Reporting for Kerfatu, I am Landin Sise.